I'm Jonica from Jonica Cooks, and today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite party snack recipes. It's called Bet You Can't Eat Just One, and it's actually fried walnuts. Be mentally prepared because if you take these to a party, you won't be bringing back leftovers. This recipe is one that my mom has given me. Thanks, Mom. Because you're going to be actively frying food, you want all your pans and utensils ready beforehand, so you're not having to leave the hot oil unattended or to go grab something else. So here's the stuff you need. I used a 3-quart saucepan for both cooking steps. You'll need a strainer for the boiled walnuts to drain in the sink. Have at least a large slotted spoon and ideally also a strainer scoop available, with plates to set them on while they're not in use. You need a thermometer for keeping track of oil temperature, and have a cookie sheet or pan nearby lined with just tin foil. Have a second cookie sheet or pan lined with tin foil and a double layer of paper towels on top. For the ingredients, you need about 4 cups of shelled, raw walnut halves in pieces. The bigger the pieces, the better. 1/2 cup of sugar, 4 cups of cooking oil. I used a combination of corn oil and canola because I wanted to use up the last cup I had of one of them. Salt in a salt shaker, and 6 cups of water. Start by bringing 6 cups of water to boil in your saucepan. Gently pour the 4 cups of raw walnuts into the boiling water. I like to face the bowl away from me as a little extra protection from splashing. You can also use a strainer basket for this, like I use later on for scooping the walnuts out of the oil. Ideally, you want your water to come back up to a boil and boil them for 1 minute. You might have a burner like my countertop one here that is slow to heat, and it didn't come back to a boil, so I cook them for 2 minutes. I stir occasionally to make sure they're all cooked well. The reason we boil the walnuts for a short period of time is just to remove the bitterness you get from the raw nuts. It's not actually truly cooking them. Then strain the walnuts in a strainer in the sink. Shake that strainer up to get as much water out as possible, but don't let them cool down. Pour your hot walnuts into a large heat-proof bowl. Sprinkle in the 1/2 cup of sugar and stir gently but well to distribute all the sugar. Now your walnuts need to set and sort of let that sugar attach to the walnuts. While this is happening, you can clean and dry the saucepan you just used. Add 4 cups of cooking oil to the saucepan and heat it up to 350 degrees. Again, I used a combination of corn and canola oil. Olive oil would alter the flavor too much, and this much avocado oil is just too expensive. Check the temperature of your oil frequently, and make sure your pans with tin foil and paper towels are ready, and at least the pan with tin foil is adjacent to your cooking area. Once your oil is up to temperature, gently drop in spoonfuls of walnuts along the outer edges of the inside of the pan to reduce splashing. I recommend wearing long sleeves when frying, and please take the precautions that you're used to when you're frying food. Notice I'm using the same slotted spoon I used for stirring the boiling walnuts and for mixing the walnuts with the sugar. Fewer dishes. The actual frying time has so many factors attached to it. You want them to start getting darker. That could take anywhere from 2 to 6 minutes, depending on how hot your oil stays, how much you cook in each batch, etc. But you want to see them darken. Don't let them turn black, and constantly check the oil temperature and make adjustments. When a batch is done, use a strainer basket utensil to scoop them out and onto the pan lined with tin foil. They are too hot at this point to put on the paper towels. Sprinkle them with salt and shake them or stir them up a bit. Keep cooking in batches. When a batch is about halfway done, you can transfer the finished walnuts from the tin foil pan to the pan lined with the paper towels to finish cooling. In my research, I've read that you can store fried nuts for 1 to 3 months in an airtight container, but I've never had a batch last long enough to test that. When the first batch has cooled, you can taste test it to see if there was enough salt to your taste, and adjust with the next few batches. These are great served by themselves as finger food, and are equally great instead of croutons in a salad. Chop them up a little and sprinkle on that sweet potato casserole you're making for the family. No matter how you consume these, I bet you can't eat just one. Thank you for visiting Jonica Cooks.